Team sacrifice. Cruddy crankers. We crank Joe, overflow. Let me show you how it's done. All pro. We homegrown, listening to go-go. And if you don't got crank, oh no. Fresh polo and phone pauses. I know you hate to do, but you can't stop it. Be around the best, and I learned a lot. Been on a few gigs, and they still high. They still got that real hip-hop. Still consistent, no flip-flop. Swag drip dry, grind specialist. You get that top shelf shit, nothing less. PG County is where I be. Sacrifice bubbling all through DC. DMV, I represent it all. They can't stop us, so I'ma ball till I fall. We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded. We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded.
Where your bank chatty? Heard you had stacks. Come get a whiff, you can't resist the Statlo at a time. I hypnotize tracks since they had 8 tracks. You see these lips, well that's my whip. I got that comeback. I got that yes man, just like no bitch can. That shit that crank that they just passed on to the next man. I got that crank crud, I call it crud rock. I guarantees that when I scream I leave that soul shock. Go tell your whole block, cause it's that plain and simple. I got the city pride, you see me cupping on my nipple. I'm rapping DC, and I'm that gutter mother. You find me cranking Southside with my cruddy brothers. See, it's supposed to bubble, so gonna pop the cork. And then again, well, I'ma sing, so gonna get the fork. Oh, what the hell you thought? Me not your average chick. Now talk this, I'm sick, I'm just a nigga with tits.
We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded. We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded.
I'm a lyrical entity, spit my bars religiously, whip your ass over my beat. So please don't ever steal from me. My tracks cost the same as a kid about a coca-leaf. If my product legit, no problem shipping overseas. A lot of people wish they could elevate over me, but I'm too good at what I do. I define overachieve. A headache for these niggas, no form of relief, no talent on 3 Advil or relief. See what I got in my sleeve. High caliber beats from Mr. Hotter Than Heat, Mr. Live Indeed. I rock with the beat, ain't no stopping me, please. My music feel good like tropical heat. I'm the bop for the beat, I'm the dot for the I and the cross for your T. You might want it, but not with me. We ain't on the same plane. Check your topography, please. Cause if you don't, you fuck around and find your bitch ass sleep.
We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded. We crank Joe, we crank Joe, we crank Joe, and we gotta get it. We crank Joe, we crank Joe. We that premium gas, you that unleaded.
phenomenal. Flow straight from the abdominal cavity. Watch the big man defy gravity. Meaning, I got the intestinal fortitude to let you know the good news. Yeshua is king. To break it down for you so you know what I mean. He was there in the beginning, the maker of all things. And coming back for his own soon, so I hope you're ready, but it's on you.
I try to tell y'all, but y'all decided not to listen. Wisdom is a basic when you face with daily living. Have to have it inside of the system. Not the system have you living inside of the prison. Pray for the people that's missing. Yeah, a lot of times I just laugh to myself. People with the mysteries and disbelief, they rebel. Come on, guys. The mind's never been a surprise. When you gonna end up when you see the crack in the sky? Whoa.
Crack in the sky, whoa, yo, who's that? The lion and the lamb, homie, thought you knew that? Everything of y'all's word is a true fact. Satan thought he won and found out he couldn't do that. No, gotta go one way or another. Father, mother, sister, and brother. All our heads numbered by the Most High. Fearfully and wonderfully made, we so fly.
Oh my, genetics combined like Voltron. Come pros or protons and electrons, and it's go time. I let my light shine in solar. No star in the galaxy ahead of me is so far. For me to obtain, I built the last belter. Any task I can pass that fast, I'm not quitting. Frustrated since forgiving, godly living. My God, yeah, he keep me strengthened. Not playing, not playing.
Me and son got another one. Long as we here, no fear, we ain't never done. It's prophetic, never pathetic. More than kinetic, energetic. Genetics gon' set it, bet it. Reach who we're supposed to reach. Men of God on the mic, we supposed to preach, supposed to teach, and walk where we talk, no doubt. I love y'all, Big Joey blessed, and I'm out.
When we come together, you know you get a collection of bars of praise. Track blaze and saw the flames. Wanna bring about changing or charging the game. Passing every test is all the same. Look, I will never compromise the message I'm spreading. God with the world I'm collecting. Fisher of the brother and I'm teaching. It's a lesson and progression is the name of the game. The first session, look, if you hearing this is feeling inspired, that's a win over the enemy. He got shots fired, and we out, and we out, and we out, and we out.
Yes, sir. Welcome. We are back here again, right? Thank you for everyone joining me here, where we are the voice of the entire DMV, right? Yes, that does include Baltimore, and yes, that does include Washington, D.C. as well, right? I am your host. I am your pilot, the Dude 80, and we have a special one for you today, right? You know, I've been a lot of the guests lately have been out of towners, have been guests, you know, but now we are back homegrown and we have something special for you today, right? Okay. All right. So, all right. This is episode 118/47. Also, thank you to Rip Radio for having us back here again. And thank you to the good Trump, right? We have the good Trump, right? Not the orange Trump. So don't get it twisted, right? Don't get it twisted, right? Okay, all right. All right, so our guests are backstage. We have something special for you today. But before we bring them up, let me shout out Killer Cow. Let me shout out Killer Cow, right? I went to a Killer Cow function last night, right? Okay, let me describe what happened last night. Okay, so I don't consider it an open mic. I consider it more of a showcase, right? Salute to all the talent that came through. Dope talent. Killer Cow did the damn thing. You know what? I told him before that if they want to do an open mic right? In the DMV, you know, we always get grouped in with go-go, right? It's natural. It is what it is, right? But it is so many dope artists, hip hop artists here, right? That we can stand on our own and still be great, right? We can still be great. And it was great to see all the talent that was in the building last night, from singing to rapping to comedy to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much talent in the DMV, and we are giving away the money to other people, right? Because it's so much talent here that, you know, we don't really need out of towners. We really don't. We really don't. We should be on the same playing field as go-go. When an artist come to the DMV, they must have a go-go band, right? And respect. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, right? Now we should also have it that you need an artist from the DMV, right? You need an artist to open up from the DMV if you're an out of town. If you're a guest, go-go band or a DMV hip hop artist, you know, should be a must. It should be a must, right? Because there's too much talent here. So let me make sure I got. So what he had going on, it was more of a showcase. And the top 3 winners got money. They got cash. That's always a good thing. Also, we had a good friend of mine, Two-Face the Don. Two-Face the Don was in the building. You know, a lot of people was in the building. So not only did the top 3 get cash, but they also got 20 Bello gave them like I want to say some hot sauce, you know, and I'm gonna do something special for them myself. I will be interviewing the top 3 artists, right? Top 3. And this is how it shaped up. Number 3 was Chef Quan. Chef Quan, I already talked to Chef Quan, so I'm gonna get him on the show to interview him. He's dope. I think he's from Mississippi. I think I'm not 100%, but it's one of them. I think it's Mississippi, Alabama, but I think it's Mississippi. And he did the damn thing. He came up number 3. Number 2, we had the lovely Miss Chevy, you know, and she was dope. You know, she R&B style. You know, she did the damn thing. But number 1, okay, number 1. Okay, let me paint the scene for you. Let me paint the scene, right? So they say hip hop is a young man's sport, right? Young man's sport. So number 1, when he put his name on the list, right? I won't say that I prejudged him, but I prejudged him, right? It is what it is. We all do it, right? So I seen him, older cat, you know, grays, you know, he wasn't like you know how you have them OGs that's in the hip hop community that still OGs and they dress like the culture, right? You know, this one he didn't. He was a grown man. He didn't have a suit, you know what I'm saying? But he was a grown ass man, and I didn't know what to expect from this artist, right? His name is Kenny Man OG. And when I tell you, he had the whole crowd mesmerized. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. Like, what he did yesterday was a masterpiece. So again, shout out to Killer Cal, the legend, for putting together something great. You know, when I did chop it up with him, I know he's trying to do it maybe like once a month, something like that. But yes, make sure you guys tap into Killer Cal. If you're an artist and you want to perform, go tap into Killer Cal's situation. Trust me, it's not the open mic that we used to. You know, I understand how that feel is. You bring somebody, trust me, I get it. Like, this wasn't that. Like, you know, it was more of a showcase. It was a showcase. So if you would like to showcase your talent. You know, it can be whatever it is. It doesn't have to be hip hop. It can be whatever it is, right? Please get in contact with Killer Cal. IG is like Kill Switch. You know, you guys know who he is. So make sure you guys blow him up. Tell him you definitely trying to get on, and 80 sent you. The dude 80 sent you, right? So okay, all right. So I got all that out the way. Okay, the good Trump. Let's bring on our guest. This is going to be a treat right here. I can't wait. There they go. There they go. There they go. Man, oh man. I mean, you know what? I've been waiting for this for a while. You know, a lot of people that I know who I've interviewed know you guys. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. Let's get this plane in the air. Okay, fellas, please introduce yourself to the family.
All right. Well, my name is BlackGalaga. First of all, thank you for having us on your platform, man. It's an honor. Appreciate you. My name is BlackGalaga, one half of Genetics with my father, Joey Bless.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? It's like I said I was going to come on and act nonchalant, but man, you know, I've been psyched about this interview for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been chopping it up behind the scenes. Man, it's an honor, and I'm humble and honored to be here. I go by the name of Big Joey Bless, you know what I'm saying? The artist formerly known as Big Shank, also the other half, you know what I'm saying? The older half of Genetics with my baby boy, BlackGalaga.
Dope. Like you said, we definitely been chopping it up behind the scenes. I've been looking forward to this because a lot of functions that I've been going to, you know, that have Brother Los. You know, I've been seeing you, hearing you, you know, and a lot of people that I've, you know, interviewed know you as well. So this one I've been waiting for. So okay, so let's do this. This is for both of you guys. Let's start with Sun first. I'm interested in this. The name. Where did the name come from?
So, all right. I was in the 6th grade. Chappelle show came on, and one of the skits he was doing was about this comedian, and he just screamed out. I forgot what his name was, but he screamed
Gallagher.
out, Gallagher. So, or Gallagher, I think, and he screamed out Black Gallagher. So when he said that, it stuck with me. But I'm in the 6th grade. I'm not doing music. I just like the name Black Gallagher. It sounds tight. Now, as I get older, start getting interested in music. Of course, the video game Galaga has played a role as well. I'm thinking, what should my name be? Something interesting, something different, and something that if you search it, I'm the only thing that's pretty much going to come up. So I'm like, Black Galaga. There we go. So I just took the Galaga, make it one word, and came up with something unique.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't. I thought it was going to be more something else. I thought it was going somewhere else, but wow. Okay. All right, OG, what you got?
I just wanted to piggyback on something he said too. Like the name also is kind of paying homage to his mom, because his mom was, the 80s was her time period, right? But also it's funny he picked that name because I'm the king of Gallagher's. For anybody that want to, contest that, you can ask DJ Shablass, my brother for life, about, well, we ain't gonna get into that. Let's talk about me for a second. Yeah, man. Listen, man, I've been doing this for a long time. Professionally, I've been doing it since around 95 was when I started doing it professionally. But I got a deal in 2001 with Sony in Europe. And I used to go by Big Shank, alias Killer Joe, right? I always had aliases, but that's my heart as an MC. But long story short, I walked away from my deal. God had other plans for me, man. So here I am, Joey Bless, still doing what I do. And it's funny because this guy posted on Facebook earlier today in one of the groups saying, man, why people still 50 and trying to rap, blah, blah. Man, they lit him up in that joint. And I it's a lot of people with that opinion, you know what I'm saying? But they don't understand that, yes, it's a young man's game as far as, the youth move the culture forward in a lot of ways. So that means the surface things, that you see on the top is normally controlled by what the youth are doing. But that undercurrent, man, the OGs still carry that undercurrent, and we still do it. And you named a couple of people. Los is one of them. 20 Bello, Priest the Nomad. A lot of cats from our age group still do it at a high level. It's not like we just still trying to make it or something like that. We still listen, man. We MCs, man. We do this thing for real. So, but the thing about it now is everything I do, I got to glorify God in what I do. Man. Glorify God, uplift the people, and you know what I'm saying, just produce at a high level. So that's why I do it.
I want to ask
Yes,
some of
sir.
that too. I don't know. It seemed like in rap, that's like the only place where you get that. Like you don't see the country stars tearing down the elders of the country genre or in rock. It's only with rap and hip hop, and it's sad. It's that crabs in a barrel mentality. It's the way that we look at ourselves and each other. It's sad, man. But I appreciate the fact that you do still have people like my father and like the people that he mentioned. You ignoring all that and still doing your thing because it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. You still got to do your thing if you feel that calling.
And you know what? And I'm glad you guys got on this topic. And I agree, right? Okay. The reason I would say that they look at it as a young man's sport because it was brand new to us. This is nothing, you know, like we didn't have nobody before us. Like we grew up with this, like, you know what I'm saying? So of course it was young because we was young, right? But like your father said, the OGs are really the culture shifters, right? Because yes, the young people are more trendy. They're more, it's more of a gimmick. This is something, the next month might be something, like it's always something, right? But the OGs have a foundation, right? And hip hop is that foundation. It could be, it is graffiti, it's breakdancing, it's a lot of things that incorporate, you know what I'm saying, hip hop, the culture, you know what I'm saying, and one of it is, you know, I guess the youngest are more gimmicky. You know, it is what it is. I mean, to keep it fresh, we got to keep it fresh, right? But it is the OGs that keep this thing going, you know, and salute to the OGs. So I'm glad you said that. Also, just to say that, okay, so what people don't really realize is, especially for our culture, just to make it out the hood, we get PTSD, right? It is what it is. Just to make it out the hood, good, bad. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm just saying it is what it is, right? It's just certain things that we live through that a lot of other people don't live through, right? And just to make it out the neighborhood where you grew up is PTSD, right? So hip hop for us was therapy. Like when you in the booth, hip hop is nothing else matters than what you have to rap about, right? So, you know, and a lot of us don't like to go to doctors and all that. So that is our therapy. So do it till you drop. Like it is what it is. Don't let nobody put no restraints on it. No, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We created this, so we get to dictate, you know, the direction that it goes, right? Yes, sir.
I just raised my hand like I was in class, but
You good?
I wanted to interject real quick. As far as like the old heads carrying the torch and stuff like that, and I mean, you know, keeping it going and stuff like that. It's like I don't have anything against what the youngest are doing. When I started rapping, if you want to ask me when I literally started, I started in '84. So I went through all the elements, right? And back then, or a lot of the older folks were saying there's a bunch of noise. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them type of like, you know, I don't get on the youngest like that because my son is from that younger generation. But the thing that's refreshing about my son, and yeah, a lot of it is gimmicky, a lot, but it's, you know, it's designed like that by the labels and stuff. But it's still some real thorough, true artists out here that's doing their thing. And that's what's refreshing about watching my son because, you know, he's literally doing his own thing. It's not like nepotism, like, oh, I rap, so he gonna have to rap, and oh, he gonna use all of my, you know, nah, he doing all this stuff on his own. And because of the creativity that's inside of him, you know, he's giving you something fresh too. It's not gimmicky, but it's fresh because it's coming from somebody that's in his age bracket. But the older guy, I'll tell you, man. I know now I can call out a lot of them. Dread the old head. It's a whole bunch of them that are showing that this age don't mean a thing. If anything, it means that what I'm saying, we are I say more seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I ain't stopping until God take the pen out my hand, seriously, because it's part of my calling. So
Since when did they change the definitions, right? Because if you look at cultures, the wise men are the OGs, right? So when they say when an elder leave this earth, it's a whole library they leave behind. It's the same thing with our culture, right? It's the same thing, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the wise. Speaking of that, this is off track, but this is kind of on track. When Max B, I'm not sure if you guys heard this, but Max B calling out Big Daddy Kane, and you know what I'm saying? Just for him to have the audacity to do that, it's only our culture. Only our culture who does that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you was to do a 101, Big Daddy Kane is going to wash him. Like, it's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be close.
Not even.
You know what I'm saying?
No contest, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. You just took me there. So okay. All right. I'm already enjoying where we're going with this already. So all right. So what part of the DMV are we from?
Born in you know what? You started off with him first, and let's keep the age before beauty thing going. Go ahead, son.
So I was born in Atlanta, Maryland, but I've lived all over PG County for sure. I feel like I'm home in PG County, if I'm being honest with you, just because I've lived in so many different spots and was able to cultivate a lot of relationships and have a lot of key moments in my life all throughout PG County. So I was born in Atlanta, but all over PG.
Okay, so let's stay right there. Because I'm from land. I'm from Whitfield Chapel Road. That's where I'm from.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So also, when I interviewed Killer Cal, he has some ties here. When I interviewed Hilarious Omar, he has some ties here. So salute to Lanham Chapel Road. That's where I'm from. Salute. Yes, sir. Okay. About you, what you got?
Well, I was born in Washington Hospital Center, you know what I'm saying? But I was raised in that big bad Seat Pleasant, you know what I'm talking about? But I also, and this is very important to my formative years of hip hop, I also moved away to North Carolina for like 7 years growing up. When my pop's job moved down there, so I went down there, graduated high school in '90, and moved back home. So, but I got hip hop down when I was down there, because I was born in the go-go, man, and like my mama took me to me and my friend Terry to my first go-go at Seat Pleasant Rec to see Trouble Funk. So it's like I'm a hybrid, man.
You right down the street. Seat Pleasant is right down the street.
Oh, yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? And just to piggyback on to what you just said, when I created this platform, I had moved to Miami, right? I was living in Miami for 6 years, right? And if I didn't make that move, I don't think I would have been in the mental space to create it being here. Because when you live here, you always got to play defense, right? Like, and creativity comes from playing offense, right? Mm-hmm. Not to say defense is bad. You need defense, right? But creativity comes from the offensive part when you're comfortable and you can do other things, right? So once I moved to Miami, and it was different. Like, even though I kept my head on a swivel, playing defense from here, I got to chill at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Chill under the palm trees. Just think bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thinking, what could I do different? Never wanted to be in front of the camera. Never wanted to talk. Didn't want to do that, right? But I knew that where we from, is so much talent here, and our story is getting told, right? It's not getting told, right? So I learned how to play offense. Then I came right back down here with it, and I'm so glad that I did, because I get to now talk to people like you guys and interact. And even when I went to Killer Cow situation yesterday, just seeing the talent that the DMV have, it's all about networking, exchanging information, IGs. You know, you never know if you're going to do a feature or produce, like you never know, right? And we got all the talent here. All of it is here.
Always has been.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Sun. Let's do it. Who made you want to rap?
Man, so growing up, of course, it's music all the time. So I'm watching my father, go to the studio. I'm there during some of the sessions. I'm there for the live shows and in the actual house. Both my parents blast the music all day. Same artist, different songs. So I'm getting a lot of different types of music. 70s soul, getting that 80s techno electronic sound, getting that 90s golden era hip hop. So I'm getting a lot of different music taste instilled in me at a young age. And I think just naturally just seeing him rap is what made me want to start to emulate it and rap and just dive into it a little bit more. But when it comes to like the actual sound that I have, I think I have my own sound as an artist is completely different from what my father does, but that overall inspiration, it started with him for sure.
Okay, so outside your pops, who would you say is number two?
Man, so I'll be honest with you, and this goes to playing a key role when it comes to shaping my music taste, and I'll even say fashion, just a part of hip hop as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
My mommy had me listening to a lot of Pharrell and Kanye West coming up for sure. So when it comes to the outfits, the fashion that's out there, and the different looks, I would say them, and then just that kind of alternative sound of rap music and them instruments, man. Definitely, I would say Pharrell and Kanye West. And then as I got older, I would throw Tyler the Creator in there just for the production side of it. But of course, I listen to everything: the Rakims, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. You gotta start with the foundation to start to really build that taste and that inspiration for yourself. So my taste is all over the place when it comes to rap music, but I would definitely say Kanye, Tyler, and Pharrell as far as like that inspiration side.
Okay, now that makes sense why you are approaching music the way you do, because a lot of people won't go backwards to learn that.
Right.
And but the ones that do, if you put anybody against that person, then it's going to be an L for you, because that person knows the different transitions. You know what I'm saying? So nothing gimmicky. It's just everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's no one shoe fit everything. Like someone size fits. So dope. You definitely got an old spirit. Definitely got an old.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Okay, what we got? Who inspired you? Who was that person you seen rapping? Like, you know what? I can do that.
So the thing is, when I was coming up, when I first started in like '84, the people that I listened to was Curtis Blow, Houdini. Um, but then something happened, and I want to say it was '85, might have been '86. And I heard my brother, my best friend, who actually started me on the turntables. I started as a DJ, but um, he played. He was from New York. I'm from here, and we would be our parents. We were so tight that our parents would let us get on the Greyhound bus to come. I would get off in DC, and he would keep going to New York for all of the holidays. I mean, I was back and forth home, like I still lived here. You know what I'm saying? So he would go up to New York and come back to North Carolina with all of the like their park jams and the live shows. He had like Cold Crush Brothers versus the Force. The singing group, the Force MDs, used to be a rap group called the Force MCs. He had Cold Crush versus them, Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh versus somebody. He had all of these joints. Meanwhile, I'm coming back. I got all the PA tapes. Like my big brother, shout out to him, Go Reds, right? AKA Chili D. He used to give me all of the PA tapes and give them to me, or they would end up in my kind of way. But so but when we came back one time. He had played Cool G Rap, his first single, which was I think the A side was "It's a Demo," and then the B side was a song called "I'm Fly." And the way he was rapping on that joint just it blew my mind because I love the way these other guys rap, and I would try to spit my little raps and stuff like that. And but I didn't sound like none of them. And so when I heard G rap, I was like, man, this. So you don't have to sound like that, and you can still rap, because I just never sounded like Curtis Blow in them at all. So the next thing I heard was LL Cool J, "I Need a Beat."
Mhm.
The next thing I heard, now my chronology might be off a little bit, but the next thing I heard was Tila Rock, "It's Yours." So I'm hearing people rapping different than what is all on the radio for the most part. And so then what really got me was 86. They planned that because the station in Carolina used to play a hip hop mix at a certain time. And man, Eric B and Rakim came on. Eric B is president, and it completely blew my mind because I said, okay, that right there, that's that's how I am as an MC. That's how I felt as an MC. Because at first I felt weird because I didn't sound like nobody else.
Mhm.
But that was closer to because it was more complicated and it wasn't just hut 2 3 4 hut 2 3 4. You can guess my next line and all that stuff. So so then I said, okay, I might be on to something. But the person who really took me to the next level is I call him my sensei, right? But this brother named Kadar Malak from Brooklyn, New York.
Hmm.
He moved to Carolina. He came down to judge a talent contest, right? And me and the brother met and we just hit it off. He was like, man, you can rap, man, but it's something, like you need to learn how to stop trying to rap on the beat. And I didn't know what this dude was talking about because I'm like, that's the purpose of it. You're supposed to rap on beat, right? And he said, nah, man, you got to learn how to ride the beat, ride inside of the beat.
Mhm.
And it was like a million light bulbs went off. And from that moment, as an MC, that was my whole thing. Like the beat can be doing whatever it wants to do, but I can do whatever I want inside of those measures. You know what I'm saying? And so I started like really honing it as a craft, not just like, oh, I want to rap one a day. I really wanted to get it down to a science. You know what I'm saying? And so that in a nutshell is really my whole influence. And yeah, Kane too, but those were really the early ones for me.
Definitely. I do remember those. Kane was that fly OG who was danced. Like Kane was definitely different. Like he culture. Like Kane had the complete package, right? So
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay. So all right, so in our era, son really, he probably learned about this, but he don't really know about this. Like if you was rapping back then, you was a Bama. Like around this area, if you was rapping, you was a cold Bama. We was clowning people who was rapping, like all the way live. Like it wasn't cool to rap, right? So that's why whenever I'm around OG Scorp, right, just to hear, just to pick his brain, right, because he was back there when Big Daddy Kane and all was like he was in the mix, right? And
Absolutely.
while they was rapping in New York, we was clowning rapping here. Like it was go-go or nothing here, right? You know what I'm saying? So all right, okay. So now what made you okay? First of all, I interviewed Tone Butter. Dope. I interviewed Ray Nas.
That's my brother.
Dope. Nate, World Changing.
Super good dudes, man.
Okay. All right. So now you see where I'm going with it, right? So when I listened to their music, right, and I told them that sound reminds me of it's that Tribe, it's that era type of music, right? Because don't put it in a box. I wouldn't call it Christian rap. I wouldn't call it that, because when you say Christian rap, you put it in a box, right? You know what I'm saying? You expect in here, you know what I'm saying, Christian rap, right? But you guys do it as well. Like if you wouldn't say Christian rap, I wouldn't think Christian rap. right? I just be thinking hip hop. It's just dope hip hop, like Talib Kweli, like it's just dope hip hop, right? So now, what made you go in that direction in music?
Well, are you talking to me or something?
Both.
Well, I'll take this one. Like I said, man, I had, this deal with Sony. I had the single, um, that
And
was right,
so at that time, like, what was you doing at that time? What type of music was you doing at that time?
just
Hip hop,
straight up
rap.
regular secular hip hop.
Okay.
Yep. And so, but what happened was we ran into a couple of situations that put a very sour taste in my mouth very early on with that deal, and it got to a point where um, a couple of things happened that just where the camel where the straw was broken, and that was the end of it. And I said, man, I can't do this no more. And I mean, I could sell the story, man, but my brother, Big Charles, man, is no longer with us, but at the time he was my manager. I've in my whole career I've only had two managers, Charles Dyson and my brother Andre Ferguson. These two guys were my managers, and both of them were great in their own right. At the time when I had the deal, Big Charles was my manager, but he was family first, right? And I come into the studio one day, and at the time I had written like four different songs for Raven Simone, right? Because she did an album, and she had she had like four different songs that had rap on it, and they wanted me to write the raps and teach her how to rap the joints, and then I had one that I was rapping on too. But this particular album was about to be released. It had Stevie Wonder on the joint. It
Mm.
had the song. One of the songs was an old Michael Jackson song, but the rest of the production, like the guest features on the album, like was like me, and then people from my family. Like I don't know if you know LaKendra. She's incredible singer, man, and but she was a little girl at the time, right? But what I'm saying is, I come into the studio one day, and I hear Raven's dad on the phone, and he was her manager at the time. And as I'm coming in, Big Charles was like, "Hey Shank, come in the studio." But he was gesturing to me and looking at me like, "Man, you got to come hear this, right?" Because he already knew how I was, man. Like this is my family he's talking about. It ain't just my manager. So I go in the studio, and the guys on the phone. We had just shot a video for one of the songs for Raven in Atlanta. So he's on the phone and says, "Hey man, we want to shoot another video for that song, but I'm out in LA. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna fly you out to LA, and we're gonna shoot a whole new video. We got a whole new all this new production, all this stuff he's saying, right?" And then I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." So he was trying to fly me out, I think like that following Tuesday. It's like Friday or Saturday. That following Tuesday or something, he's trying to fly me out to Cali, right? I was like, "Bet." So all right, so when we flying out? And he said, "No, I'm gonna fly you out on Tuesday." But then Big Charles was like, "Nah, man, not we, man. He just wants you to come out there." I said, "Hold up. He want me to come out there? Just me. Like no you, no team, no none of that. Just me, not even you." I said, "Hey man, when you said you gonna fly us out there, or you fly?" He said, "Nah, man, I just need you out here." Mind you, me and him had already had an incident down in Atlanta where we got into it. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Because of something that he did, right? And I'm not speaking ill of those who have passed away, but that's what happened. And
Mhm.
so I said, man, you gotta be crazy if you think you flying me to LA without my team, especially you're not gonna just not even just bring my manager. I said, "Man, nah." I said, "First of all, I don't trust you. Like we already had our dealers in Atlanta, and you want me to fly 3,000 miles away by myself?" I said, "No, I ain't going." He said, "Man, you gonna regret it." All this stuff and talking all this stuff, and then the last thing was the label didn't come through. Not the indie label, New Horizon. That was my people's. But the label, the Sony part of the label, didn't come through with something that I needed them to come through with before I was supposed to go to Europe for this European tour. So I had enough at this point. I literally had enough. And it was already, like my album was it was a dope album. But the single that we put out, I literally hated the single. I really did it because it was a challenge from my brother, Big Charles. Like, man, come on, man, let's do this and let's, But I hated it. So you combine all of this stuff, I had enough, and I was already going through some stuff at home. Home needed to be straight before I go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, man, I ain't doing it no more. And I totally walked away from everything. And Big Charles was like, all right, man, look, this up to you, man. I can't make you do nothing. So I left. I'm thinking I'm just leaving on my own accord. I wasn't factoring in the thing, in the fact that God was pulling me away from it. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen until later because I walked away from that, man. I stopped doing music altogether, and this is the first time in my life since '84 that I wasn't doing music, and so I was in a dark place, right? And so I ended up one day. A friend of mine said he was and you gotta stop me, man, because I will run my mouth.
You good?
A friend of mine was preaching his initial sermon, right? And me and this brother, we was real tight. His wife was pregnant, and my wife was pregnant with our boys at the same time. And every time we would see each other, we'd be like, man, we gotta get up, but we never did it. So this one time he said, look, man, I'm preaching my sermon, come through and see me. So I say to myself, all right, man, you know what? I'm gonna go see the brother, man. We always talking about hooking up, and I don't never go. We don't never hook up. I'm gonna go see him. So I got up in the morning, went in the bathroom, was getting ready, and the Lord spoke to my heart, man. The Lord spoke to my heart, and it was almost as if I'm talking to you right now. I don't know if it was audible or if it was on the inside, but I knew for a fact it was the Lord, right? And he said, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this for me. And if not, then you're gonna die right where you at. And I was like, I had to make a decision. So that morning I said, you know what, God, I'm gonna do it your way, whatever you want me to do. So then I went to the sermon, and then I started just going on the regular. And long story short, I gave my life to the Lord, man, and started, but I'm still an MC. I still want to rap, man. That's what I love to do. It's something that I feel like I am in the process of mastering over all of these years. And so I said, man, I really want to. So you know what I did? I sat down. I said, man, shoot, I'm saved now. I'm gonna write gospel raps, right? Man, I tried to write raps. I wrote these gospel raps, and I'm like, who wrote this? It was nonsense, bro. And I couldn't write a song to save my life. One day I'm sitting in the living room. I've just finished reading my word and just finished praying, and just in the middle of the silence, when I was sitting there, I heard the Lord's voice again. He said, you have a new name. I'm thinking it's real deep, like he changed, Jacob to Israel or something like that. But he was talking, he gave me a new name as far as my music. He said, your name is Joel the Vessel. And just like I'm talking to you, I promise you. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm Joel the Vessel, right? So I'm about to start writing raps again, right? And it didn't come right then. But I promise you, over the course of the next few days, it started coming, man. Music started flowing. And I met my man Dre, who I knew from like the early 90s. And Dre was like, man, we got a studio, we got a label, and we're trying to do something. I go over to a studio, and at the time, Dre was working with the group Godzilla. So Dre was working with some of those brothers, and one of the cats who was down with them, Travis Lucas, that's my little bro. I knew him since the early 90s, right? So I knew these young cats, they've been doing this, you know what I'm saying? So, but when I came in, I think that they had started to go off and to do some other things. And Dre had all these tracks and was like, man, we need something. So I said, man, let me go in the booth. I went in the booth, and man, I just started spitting. And from then on, that's how my songs have been. And like it was flowing from him. I couldn't try to see, even to this day, if I sit down and try to make a song, and I don't write anymore. I stopped writing for about 2-3 years ago. When God gives it to me, that's when it comes, and I go in the studio and just lay it down. Sometimes it's a whole song, sometimes it's a few lines, but that's where it comes from, literally. So I can't take no credit for it. That's where I got. That's how I started doing what I'm doing.
Okay, so yes, you just answer. Well, you just really jumped into my next question, but before I go there, okay. So now, son. Okay, so for you being young, right? Um, this lane isn't cool. Like this is not the cool lane. Like you know what I'm saying. Like because majority of people is not doing that, right? So, were you always doing this type of music, or did you just start doing? Like, what made you go in this direction?
Well, for me, I was raised, to follow the Lord, and then following the Lord is not the popular thing to do. So with that, with the type of music I was into anyway, the clothes that I was wearing, just I've always been my own individual. You have friends you might, hang out with and stuff like that, but I've always been someone who was off doing my own thing anyway. As far as getting to like where we are today with the music,
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a form of like an artistic expression and therapy for myself. So when I was younger, I would draw and draw a lot. I would shoot like little short films and do videos and things like that. Basketball, of course, and like as I grow up, I have these different forms of artistic expression, and these were the things that were satisfying to me when it came to just a creative outlet or something to help me just get through life outside of my faith and my family. So I started like seriously, and when I say seriously, I mean like really experimenting in a serious way with putting together an actual song back in, I think that was 2017, where my father and a producer named Black Nation from Chicago, they had a project that they was putting out called Pressure Makes Diamonds. And he had played one of the songs for me, and he was we were feeling it, we was grooving, and I just asked him to get on that song, and he was like, "You serious? You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's try it." So we got in the car. We was driving around for a while. I'm listening to it. I'm taking it serious. I'm writing down some raps and like what I think would sound tight. And then once we got back to the house, I laid it down, and I love the entire process of it, getting my feelings on the paper and hearing it on the track and like listening to it back and having it minister to me. So that was like the start of, okay, I think I can make something out of this, and I actually enjoy how it sounds in the process of it. So throughout the years from then, I would make a song here, like one or two songs out of the year, and then shoot a cool video to it and put it on YouTube, and just enjoy that for what it was and seeing what reaction I would get from people, and how they was able to kind of relate to it, how they felt, and just vibing out to it and stuff like that. Now, in 2023, that I went through some tough things in 2023, and that's when my mom had passed away. So at that time, it's something just completely, not just this one thing, but a lot of things inside of me changed, and it elevated me to a different level of maturity in life and in my faith. And I just felt that this story that I had, it had to come out with that situation, with other things I've been through in life, and just knowing that there's so many people who have such a relatable story to me that needs some form of like healing, some therapy, some guidance, some light, some life. So something changed, man. And I spent a lot of time to myself at that time, just really, okay, you know what? My mother loved rap music. She liked where I was going with what I was doing, and now I need to like really take this serious, elevate, and take this thing to another level. So I started to get into the production side of things and experimenting with like piecing together beats and listening to what was sonically something that I would actually listen to outside of like me just putting this beat together and hoping people like it. When I actually listened to this, so it was a bit of a process. I worked on the production side of it, and then I genuinely took my time with the writing piece of it. Like I wasn't aimlessly writing. I wasn't writing anything to just feel good. But I knew with my faith, my testimony, and what I've been through in life, plus me as a person, I'm a very encouraging and like try to be a joyous person. I got to get all that in this song and marry that with the track and put something out for the world. So 2023 was when I put together my first album, and the inspiration behind that whole project was healing from losing my mother, getting because you don't want to just rush it all and get it all out at the same time, but getting a good piece of my testimony out there, showing that God is still good and I'm still here and still, pressing forward. And I just wanted to make something tight that people can vibe out to and like have a soundtrack to their life. So I put that first album out. A lot of great feedback, a lot of love, a lot of support, and from there, it just made me more and more hungry to want to get better at my craft, get better at the videos, better at producing, better at writing, and I still got a lot of my story to tell. So, I just continued to progress with that. And when I make my music, we all have different processes with how we compose our music, and for me, I have to have that inspiration to go. Like if I go in there and try to rap something or try to start writing, I can't really find that inspiration. So I got to go based off that raw emotion. Every day I'm feeling something different. I'm feeling a lot of different emotions and memories on the inside. And when I do it, and when I feel that, I just immediately go into the booth, find whichever beat I feel fits that particular moment, and I just start writing and try to get it all done right there.
Okay, so for you, are you an artist that already have written raps and you're trying to find a beat, or are you listening to beats and then you're writing once you hit? Like, what type of artist are you?
So I have to listen to the beat first, and then I start thinking in my mind. I start shooting the video in my mind to the beat, and then that helps me write the rap, if that makes sense. And I've gotten better with this. I used to have short patience and would try to rush it, but I'm a lot better with composing a whole song with the hooks, storytelling, and things like that. So I definitely get that beat first, and then I'm able to write once I get that feeling going, getting that mind frame.
So then when you write, are you starting with the hook? Are you starting with the verse? What are you starting with?
So I start with the verse first. So I start with that first verse, and then listen back to it a couple times, and depending on just the whole overall feel of the song, I get that first hook out. And after I get that first hook out, that'll help me better structure the rest of the song. Because some songs I have 3 hooks, some songs I got like a chorus, verse all the way through another chorus. So I gotta kind of piece it together like that.
Dope. Okay, all right, Pops. How about you? Like, what's your method?
You on mute.
I knew that. I was just messing with y'all. Sorry.
No.
Honestly, nowadays, man, I get inspired by. I could be listening to a neo soul song, and if the beat catches me, I'll start flowing to it in my head. Like, okay, yeah. It don't have to be. It could be whatever. And other rap songs or whatever. But a lot of times, since I produce as well, I'll be in the studio and just start messing with a sample. And once I start messing with it, I'm like, dang, this is sound tight like this. Once I do that, 9 times out of 10, if that beat's gonna be for me, I'll start getting the words will start coming, or at least the flow, the cadence of it will start kind of playing around in my head, right? So I'll finish the beat, at least 8 bars of the beat, and just let that joint loop for a little while. And I'll go, I'm in the studio, so I'll just turn on the audio track. If I'm feeling that beat like that, I'm gonna lay something down to that beat more than likely at that time. And what happens is, if I get like just a few lines of it, I at least know the direction that I want to go, how I want to flow on this beat. And so sometimes it'll veer off, and I'm like, okay, I'll run out of words, and I say, all right, I'm gonna come back to it. When I come back to it, 9 times out of 10, that joint getting done. But a lot of times that's my process for myself. But if producers send me beats, like shout out to my nephew Doc Marzi, he sent me some beats, right? Like 3 beats. And I was like, man, we just need to do an EP, because every time he sent me a beat, I went in almost literally that same night and did a whole song to the joint. because that's just how the beat was pulling me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was inspired from it. So he sent me um, about 12 beats, and we got about 9 of them done for this album. But if it moves me, it pretty much moves me to just knock out songs, man. And the way I do songs now, I ain't worrying about no structure. Like oh, I'm gonna do a hook right here, 16 bars. Hook. I don't worry about none of that. I'm kind of back to having fun with it. Like before I had my deal, I rap 150 bars. I don't care how long ago. I don't care. I just want to rap till I'm finished, right? But then I had to get some structure when I got the deal, like formatting stuff for the radio and all that. But now I'm back to the place where I'm gonna do what I want with this beat. And so, but yeah, man, a lot of times it's the beat, but sometimes the words will start flowing, and I really have to. I'll make a voice note if I can, because if I don't, I lose it.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God I'm in the house, so a lot of times I could just jump right in the booth and just lay down the idea for the joint and just vibe to it.
Wow. Okay. All right. So where did the production side come from? Like, what made you, start making beats?
So I started as a DJ, 84. My best friend, when we met, his pops was a DJ. So he thought he was a DJ, you know. And we didn't have like a turntable set or nothing. We had component sets. Like his mom gave him this thing from Sears, and it was like the radio, the turntable, and like the little tape deck on it. And then he got another one from somewhere. And what he did was he took the old Atari 2600 joystick knob, right? Took that off because it was just like a little rubber piece. You can pull it off, and he put that on the balance knob on both of these record players, not turntables, record players, right? So he used that as his fader, and he taught himself how to scratch. So I'm like, dang man, I want to do that too. So he taught me how to scratch and stuff. I never got like to the point where I was doing what he was doing, but I was getting close. So that coming up Christmas, we both wanted to get a turntable set. And like I told you, we Christmas holidays, we was leaving Carolina, coming up north. So we came up north. I got off in DC. He went straight up. When we came back home from our trip, we both had turntable sets. So now we both we went through all the elements together. You know what I'm saying? And it was me and him. Now my little brother Rick, who was younger than us, so he couldn't do everything we could do. But we all did the break dancing. Well, I didn't break dance. I popped. You know what I'm saying? If you can envision that, I popped, break dance, graffiti, beatboxing, rapping, DJing. We did all of it, right? So we had our little crew. It was called the Mysterious Force or something like that. And the Master Crew. That's right. All of us was named something. But anyway,
Okay.
But we figured out that as far as the rapping, I was better at rapping. He was better at DJing. So we kind of veered off and said, all right, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this. And so that's when I started getting this to the rapping part. But like maybe the following year, my cousin Chucky, he bought me a 4-track, a Tascam 4-track recorder. And I got a what you call them, Sonic drums. It really was a toy by Mattel, but it had 4 drum pads on it, and you could program drum beats on it. So I had this 4-track, I had my turntables, and I had this Mattel drum machine, right? And this put the icing on the cake, right? My mother bought me this little keyboard called like years before she got me this little Casio keyboard, little white drum, right? And we turn it on, it go da 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 da, and all the beats had a little fake me out beats programmed in, and so I used to play with that. But this Christmas, she elevated and got me this Casio I think it was SK5. This joint actually had a sampler on it, right? Now there was 4 pads that had effects. One of them was a dog and something else. But the other 4 pads you could sample on them. And I promise you, young, it had this much sample time on the jump. I mean, I'm giving it some leeway. It wasn't even this much. So in order to sample and stuff like that, the song you sampling had to be going like 1,000,000 miles an hour. So then you sample the little piece for like 0.3 seconds, and then you can slow it down. And then so we started like, oh man, we making beat. That's how I started getting into production. So from there, Flash for like 4 years, we ended up getting the SP1200. Down the line, I ended up getting the MPC. And I'm doing beats this whole time that I'm rapping for the most part. Nobody outside of us know that I'm doing beats. But then by the time I got my deal, I was pretty serious about doing my beats, but I was shy about my beats. As far as rapping, I felt like I didn't care about it. I can do that in front of anybody. But my beats, I was shy about. I used to play my beats for my man Mo, Maestro from Northeast Groovers.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad NEG, baby. That's my brothers. Those are my brothers. Maestro, I would go and because we had a house over in Temple Hills. Mo and Hug was two of our producers, and basically that was like a second home for me. I would go do beats with my man Panama balancing them, and then come to Mo house and like, hey Mo, I want you to hear something. And I would play him my beats. And he the only one I would play these beats for, right? And Mo would be like, I don't know, Shank, man, you wanted something, right? But he would give me pointers of what I needed to do to take him to another level. So as I started getting better, Mo started being like, yeah, you got it, dog. You gotta just keep at it. You're gonna be nice. And so he encouraged me to like just keep making these beats. And then finally, man, I had a band that my band was called Melodic. I don't know my brother. We was going around doing shows all over the place. We was traveling and stuff. And I had some personal stuff going on at home that I needed to take care of for myself. So I kind of shut things down with the band, and even with my production company and everything. I just shut everything down because I had to get me right. You know what I'm saying? In that time though, I'm making beats. And over the course of like a year or so, my band, everybody kind of their schedules went other ways, and we could never pull it back together. But I'm producing these beats for somebody, so I'm gonna rap over these joints, And so that was my first foray into like people, the public hearing my beats. Really, I did do some drum programming on old Travis Lucas record a long time ago. But so me and the guy from Chicago, Black Nation, I heard his production on my man Gadget. Shout out to Gadget on his page, and I was like, "Yo, man, your production sound a little similar to mine. Let's do something." So we put this album together. Pressure Makes Diamonds. He produced half of it. I produced the other half, but I rapped on, all of the songs. That was my first time putting beats out, and from there I just got more and more confident with it, and more confident with my mixing, because that album was fun. Honestly, I don't toot my own horn. The album was a phenomenal album, and I'm saying that my man DJ RBI said it was one of his top albums of 2020. So it was a good album, is what I'm trying to say. But the mixing on that joint was horrible because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to keep learning, man. Keep at it. And his son's putting out albums. He producing, but he like, hey, Pops, can you mix this for me? And I started getting better with the mixing. So now everything has come together, and I'm full-fledged as a producer. So
dope. Okay, all right. Now, son, did you learn that from Pops?
So it's interesting because I want to sit down and I want to really take my time and learn the drum machines and learn how things have progressed over time. But I just have my own process with it, if I'm being honest with you, man. Right. I have my own sound, my own process with it. Before, like when I was first starting out, I would download little programs on my tablet and just experiment with the sounds and see what I can come up with. But as I started to take it more serious, he got FL Studio for me, and and I also use GarageBand as well. And I just try to piece to like at least early on, I was really heavy into sampling, and I have an ear for like listening for parts of a song that not the average ear would listen out for. So I was heavy into like the sampling and
Got that
experimenting
from
with
his
that.
mother. Definitely got that from his mother. Hearing parts of the song. I ain't mean to cut him off, but that's important to why he does it the way he does it. He hears parts of the song. We could listen to the same thing. He gonna hear something completely different. Sorry, go ahead, son.
That's okay. That's okay. And I was heavy sampling with like I think my second album, but as I'm thinking, for the future and just wanting to really have full ownership over my music, and I'm trying to, you want to sell it. You don't want to have to worry about anybody coming after you later on down the line. So I'm not gonna say I've eliminated sampling, but I do it very minimally now, so that I could avoid those issues, and I'm making them from scratch pretty much now in GarageBand.
Okay, so talk to me about your new project, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
okay, all right. So your new project, right? So mentally, like what space was you in to create like the body of work, right? But
Yes.
before you even did the songs, like what made you say, okay, this is what I want to do, and like that beginning part, like, what take me to that.
Yes. So I didn't want to be repetitive. That's the thing. I didn't want to kind of like water down my own story by keep talking about some of the same subject matter that's on previous albums. Not that I did it too much, but you don't want another full album of the same stuff. I wanted to, yes, be vulnerable, be transparent, and bring the Lord into it, but I also wanted to come from a different perspective. The idea behind this one is I wanted a little something for everybody on here. So you got a little bit of R&B type, feel, some singing, straight up boom bap, 90s hip hop. So I wanted to bring together the appreciation that I have for all types of music on this project. And I wanted to, I wanted to make it sonically different from everything that I've had in the past too. I wanted to show the maturity and the growth in the production, as well as in the writing as well. Experiment with new cadences, new flows, while still keeping my own integrity. And then two, because I include the videos in the body of work too, because it's all a part of that full process. With those videos, it's important for me to have something completely different for each and every last one of them. And I want it to be very unique to whatever that song is. So I got with my wife. She completely got on board, believed in everything that I'm doing, and she shoots my videos for me. So we'll talk through like the idea as to like what we're looking for that particular video. She'll shoot it. I'll go edit it, and then we'll just talk through it. Do you like this? Do I need to add this here? And then we'll just talk everything through to make sure it's completely polished and matches what the song is. And we'll sit with it for a while. Again, I had to work on that patience, but nowadays I'm sitting with everything to make sure everything is cohesive. I wanted the project as a whole cohesive. I didn't want it seem like I just threw some fillers on there, or I made a song a while ago that I liked that didn't fit the project, but because I like it, I put it on there. Now I wanted to tell a story with this one. I wanted cohesion with this one, and I wanted that maturity aspect to be apparent too.
So at the end of the day, after completion, did you feel that you did everything that you wanted to do?
Yes, absolutely. With this one, man, this is to me, and like you said, I'm not tooting my own horn, but this to me is like a flawless project because I'm critical of myself. There's not one song that I would skip on this project. I laid everything completely on the line with this one. I had a few opinions from others that I genuinely care about as far as like how the mix sound, how the mastering sound, how does this beat sound, how's the verse on here, just making sure that I'm covering all my bases with this one, sat with it, prayed over it. And this one, I believe in all my projects, but this one is like the very, like not final form, but the most mature project that I've had to date. And I'm reaching people that I haven't been able to reach before because of the sound, like sonically, and then the ministry aspect of it as well. It's reaching more because of how it sounds, I believe.
Okay. So what's the name of the project and where could we find the project?
Yeah, so this project is called The Greater Goods.
The Greater Goods?
The Greater Good, no S. No S. Biblical inspiration, of course, as God multiplies and continues to give you the strength and endurance through. And you can look at the cover art and see he gives you the strength and endurance to keep pressing forward despite what's going on around you, despite your circumstances, despite where you are in that particular moment. As long as you have breath in your body, he's gonna keep you going, and that's something that's very important to me to want to share to the world, because we all gonna go through things, we all have adverse circumstances, but it's like, how are you going to get through this, and who are you going to praise after you get through it? But to get this project, so I'm doing things differently. Okay. I'm not doing any major streaming platforms this time around. I'm trying to completely maintain full independence. So I'm doing this direct to consumer. How I've been doing it is just advertising it as, if you're interested in purchasing the project, you send over your payment via Cash App, Cash, Zelle, Venmo, whatever your payment method is. You send that to me and include your email in the note. After I get your email address, I'll send all the files. So not only do you get the album, and you'll have that forever, but you'll also get, I have a special thank you message. It's like a video I created just to show appreciation to all the supporters, as well as just some additional media content and things like that for you to be able to enjoy. And I send that over to their email, and you have the files forever. You can download them. You can listen to them off your MP3, computer, phone, whatever. And I've been doing this since the last project. Now, the last one is on streaming platforms, but with this one, I wanted to completely eliminate it. I think maybe in a month or so, I might put it on Bandcamp, but for now, this direct sell to consumer is going very well, for sure.
Dope. I will be getting with you, so I definitely check out that music.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Pops. Just to let you guys know, we are definitely going to do a part 2 of this, right? Because I still have so many questions, but you guys are so interested, so I'm slow cooking every question. But I have so many more questions I want to ask you, so we definitely want to do a part 2 to this, right? So, okay, Pops, I'll tell you about you, right? Okay. How it is, right? Masterpiece, right? And the first time I seen it is when I went to that DC Decades and Los, right? Other Los, and you had everybody on stage that I've interviewed with a verse performing the song, right? So I didn't know what it was until this week when I went back and I really checked the catalog. I said, okay, that's what that was about, right? Okay. So, all right. So what was the vision of that, and how did you get everybody who is somebody on that track? And the video, like, how did you do everything?
Yeah, man. First, man, all glory to God, man, and thank you for that. I could not have done that just me thinking it up, but it's relationships, and for the most part, with the people. But how it started was this young brother named, he's not a young brother, he's younger than me, named Vinny Lane. He had posted something on Facebook, and he was saying, his initial post was talking about how the younger generation, right? He talks to a lot of the younger cats, and they saying that the old heads is dropping the ball, and that's why they don't want to hear from the old heads, because the old heads is, they coming at them a certain way and blah blah blah, right? So I was like, I don't know about this. So the next day, I was going to respond to Vinny and say, yeah, I hear this. But before I could say anything, Vinny had already put up another video saying, now I gave y'all the perspective from the younger dudes, but I gotta say, because he's like in between, right? Mm-hmm. He said, but I'm gonna tell you, I know some solid OGs that that's really here, man. It's just something gotta happen. So at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, nah, man, we got to do something to reach these babies, man, because the devil is after him. You know what I'm saying? And so I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, I like how you posted this, man. You showed both angles of this thing, you know. I said, I got this track. I had literally just did this track, man. And the track literally like it spoke like this is the one for that. You know, I had no lyrics to it or nothing. But I talked to Vinny. I said, Vinny, man, why don't you get on this track with me? I'll do a version of it. And then, you know, you do a version of it too. Like I'll do the first verse and you come on the second verse and then, you know, we'll go from there, right? And so Vinny was like, yeah, all right, that sounds cool, OG, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And so it took a minute for us to get up to get that done, you know. But Vinny, he laid his part down and sent this. And just so you know, all the people that was on the stage up there, that wasn't even everybody. Not even, that might have been half of them. But so Vinny was the first one, right? And so I was like, man, Vinny killed this part, man. Um, but Vinny is very busy. It was hard to reconnect with Vinny, you know what I'm saying? But that's what started. I said, well, you know what? The Lord dropped it in my heart, like to do different versions of it. The same song, but have different people on the second verse. Not so it's a remix, but so that if it's me and you on the song, okay, now this is our version of the song. So each song will stand on its own, but we're doing it so many times, we're getting the same message out there. But we're getting it from not just me, but whoever else's perspective is on there. So the more we can reach by doing it this way, the better. I just start reaching out to people that I have relationships with. Priest and Nomad. And by the way, you said when we was rapping back then, everybody was a Bama. Priest got a documentary called I Was the Weirdo that talks about that same thing. It's true, you know, but I reached out to Priest. That's my brother. Like we go beyond music. I said, yo, man, why don't you get on this track, man? All right, bro, you know, I got, you know, he got on that joint. I started reaching out to people. And so some of the people I knew of, like let's say Kenilworth Katrina. I reached out to her because when my wife was alive, Kenilworth Katrina caught her ear. And she was telling me, like, you know, she's nice. She's nice. And one day we was at C Pleasant Day, and I had performed and I got on stage and we was leaving actually. And here comes Kenilworth Katrina in the park. And my wife was like, hey Joe, there go Kenilworth Katrina. My wife was something else. She said, there go Kenilworth Katrina right there, young. And so we got seen her then. I was like, man, I like Shorty, man. She could rap, man. She cool. She seemed cool. She could rap. So all these years later, I reached out to her, man, and everybody that I talked to, literally, when I told them, hey, I want you to get on this song, it's almost as if I knew them their whole life because the response from every person was, man, of course. I couldn't even finish asking them before they said they on it. And Katrina, she was in Cali doing her thing, and she was on a break or hiatus for a minute. And when I asked her to do the song, that was her first thing. One of the first things she did coming back into doing, you know, getting busy with her music. So she came to the house, laid her verse down, killed it. Everybody literally smashed their version, man. And my man Dread the old head, he's on a ridiculous run. He been doing this forever too. But Dread, he said, man, you brought me out of retirement. A lot of people was like, man, shoot, this is a no-brainer, you know, on the strength of, you know, they know who I am as a person, you know, not as, you know, an artist and nothing, but that too. But just they know me. Now I'm just, you know, I'm a genuine person. So when I asked them, it was like, cool. But when they heard the track, this is how I know the anointing was on the track. Everybody that heard this track was like, man, that track just don't even make sense. And I'm like, dang, the track is good. But I mean, it's a good track to me, right? But the response to it was just ridiculous. So the idea was I wanted to do 31 days of peace in the streets for the month of October, since it's 31 days in October, right? So the idea was I'm gonna release a new version of this song every single day in October to the 31st. Not only that, you know, my son and his wife, they did versions to the joint, but my son's the videographer of the family, man. Like they work, they're like the team is crazy. So we had to, my son is not he wouldn't have even let one video get by. And he wanted to do a video to each and every one of the joints. Therefore, each video had to be something different, just like each song was, its own thing. And we literally, man, it came together, man. It came together. And then for us to end up on that stage that night, Mustafa, and man, Mustafa is crazy with the history of DC, man, especially the Black history. But really, he's an avid historian, and I'm always on DC decades, and me and him kind of hit it off through that because I'll be saying my little stories because a lot of stuff that he's talking about is like straight DC stuff, right? And then got people chiming in, yeah, DC, and here I come, with my aspect. I'm from Maryland, but man, we all in the same area, man. So I would chime in on a lot of the posts. So we kind of hit it off like that. But when How It Is dropped, he said, man, we're gonna do something one day. Down the line, when he had that the DC History Week coming up, he hit me up. He said, man, look, I want you to do How It Is for the finale of the DC History Week. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm thinking he want me to just come do my version or, may come and bring somebody to do that. I said, I thought about it and I was back out. So I said, hey man, it's like 31 of us, right? He said, yeah, I want all of y'all to be there. I want all of y'all to do that song. So at first when he said, I was like, this is going to be like a logistical nightmare. How is this going to happen? You know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, man, it all came together. And, all the videos are different, but we had the video playing. You saw how it was. The video was playing in the background, and it just turned out beautifully, man.
I agree. You guys look like Wu-Tang, on stage. It was like 100 of you guys on stage.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was incredible.
Absolutely. Man, we got like 4 minutes left. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna bring you back for part 2. I got a ton of questions left. I didn't even get through half.
We love to come
but we definitely gonna do that. So real quick, what do you think about the DMV hip hop scene now? What do you think about it? Son, what you think?
What I appreciate is that building relationships and connections with a lot of people that I didn't necessarily know about, honestly. When it comes to just the whole networking aspect of it, I appreciate that there's a lot of talent, a lot of individuality, a lot of artistry in the area, and I want to continue to get connected with a lot of like-minded artists. And that as far as like what I see and what I'm looking for, I'm definitely looking to continue to grow and network in that aspect with a lot of artists, because there's a lot of talent, man, a lot of talented people out here of all age groups for sure. I think it just depends on what scene you're in and where you are, and what specific area you are in, and what places you frequent. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to get out there more and just meet a lot of new artists for sure.
Dope. I agree. Pops, you got like a minute and a half.
I'm gonna be quick too. But DC has always been a melting pot, of different cultures and stuff. But musically, it's the same way. It's so much talent and creativity in this area, and it always has been. Like even now, today, there's so many talented artists, hip hop and otherwise. I think the scene is thriving on one hand, but on the other hand, it's not, because there's a lot of poison that's out there. You know what I'm saying? The last thing we need is somebody killing somebody else on another record, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that I want, just to answer your earlier question about why you're doing, and it's you can call it Christian rap, you can call it whatever. I'm an MC, but I'm a man of God before I'm anything. So I'm gonna give you beats, I'm gonna give you rhymes, but you can always know the Spirit of God is going to be moving with me. My part of the DMV scene, or whatever scene I find myself on, is to skill-wise be able to play anywhere, and that's what I do. I don't just go minister at church. My Ministry is outside the church to bring people to God, not to just keep it inside, but I do it there too. Man, I've been on stage with my whole career. I've been on stage with across genres, man. And I want to continue to do that, to like shine some light in the dark places, you know what I'm saying? Because you're always going to have that, you know, that darker element, but somebody got to stand up for some light somewhere. And I think that's, you know, what we doing.
Dope. Perfect cutoff time. Perfect. I really enjoyed this. Definitely gonna set you up for part 2 and maybe a part 3 because I still got a whole bunch of questions. But I definitely appreciate you guys for entertaining what I got going on. So look out.
You dope at this, man.
I'm gonna be chopping it up with you guys. So definitely gonna bring you back on. So man, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are dope, man. You guys are dope.
Sacrifice, man. You killing it, man. I like what you're doing, and I like your spirit, man. You just I knew it was gonna be like this. So thank you for having us,
man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. But this make sure you check out. Look out for my message because I'm definitely gonna set up a part 2.
All right.
That sounds good.
Man. Appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, Slim. What's good, Joe? We from the home of Thurs and Original, Go-Go, Mumble Sauce, Marvin Gaye, Martin Lawrence, Roger E. Hens, Dave Chappelle, Samuel L. Jack, Genuine, Maya, Anne Marie, Kevin Durant, Tommy Davis, DJ Cool, Wale, my #1 of all time, Black.
See, I'ma keep it real, with my weapon on me concealed. I'm Ralphion, that nigga